All right, guys, we are back. Real Estate 101, and today we're gonna talk about something really, really good. We're gonna nerd out today. Should you buy a house today when real estate rates are at 8%? Woo, controversial, guys, but I like controversy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that follow button, guys. This is gonna be some good stuff. So make sure, if this is something that's helpful for you guys, share this with the world. Let's get that algorithm up. We're gonna be sharing some gems today. So let's get to it. We're gonna nerd out today. All right, so I'm gonna show you an example of why you should absolutely buy a property even in today's historically high 8% interest rate. And here's why, okay? So we're gonna give you an example so you can see real numbers, real actual numbers. And I'm gonna get some data that I have on my laptop, some articles that I have written so you guys can see the power of owning real estate. And if you do not own real estate here in America or here in the United States, I'm telling you guys, you will be left behind. Point blank, period. Okay. So this is why you gotta own a home. So in this example, the average median home sales price is roughly around $400,000. Of course, in different markets it's a little bit higher, much higher. In other markets it's gonna be much lower. But the average median price for a home property is around $400,000. It's like $420, $450, but we're gonna use a nice even number. Let's just call it $400,000, okay? The most important thing is not so much the price, but we're focusing more on the rate so you really can understand the relationship of rates when buying these properties, guys. So this is what it's all about. So in this example, we have the median home sales price in America of $400,000, okay? This example is just to show the difference between if you had that loan today at 8% versus you wait, who knows how long it might take for rates to get down to 5%, maybe even 4%. Doesn't really matter, but you're waiting on the sidelines. In this example, we're just gonna use reasonable numbers. The average mortgage rate has been 5% for decades, guys. Roughly around that 5% mark, plus or minus, but it's a solid average. It's just a consistent average rate for mortgage rates, guys. What we saw at 2% and 3%, it's an anomaly. We can't bet on that. So if you bought a house today for $400,000 at 8%, and you went a total of 30 years. Now, the cool thing about real estate is most people don't know, but most homeowners live in a property on average for 7 years. But in this example, this is just if you bought a property and you stayed in that property for the full 30 years until the property was paid off. So 30 years at 8%. So if you buy a property for $400,000 and you pay this loan down for the next 30 years, you're gonna pay a total of $590,000. This line here is interest. This is the interest alone that you're gonna pay on this property for the next 30 years. So $400,000 financed at 8% for 30 years, you're gonna pay a total of $590,000 in interest. Wow, it's a lot of money, right? Even at 5%, $400,000 property purchased at 5%, financed over 30 years, you're gonna pay a total of $335,720. That's gonna be the difference in your interest. It's roughly $225,000, about $250,000 is the difference between 8% and 5% of a $400,000 purchase. That's a big number, but it's a much bigger number if you continue to sit on the sidelines and never buy a property. And I'm gonna show you why. Now, the payment for both of these, your principal and interest. Your principal and interest at 5% on a $400,000 property, not including taxes, not including insurance. These are the variables. These are the things that can change in markets, in different markets. But your principal and interest do not change. It's gonna stay the same for the life of the loan, but your taxes and insurance can change on an annual basis depending on the market and where your property is located. In Texas, we've got high taxes and we've got high insurance. So it's kind of a whammy for us, but we're just talking strictly on principal and interest, guys. So let's just say all things being equal that you could afford this $1,900 payment just like you can afford the $2,600 payment. Yes, you might have to cut some expenses here and there, but let's just say you as a borrower, you can afford paying $1,900 a month and you can also afford paying $2,600 a month. The only difference is how much interest you're paying, which is about $250,000. Now, here's a really cool thing. I've got some statistics for you guys. Per this Forbes article, it's called "The Great Appreciation of Home Prices is Now Over." In this article that was published July 8, 2022, they say the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage rate in January of 2021 was 2.74%. But 30 years ago, the average rate was 9.9%. 2 percentage points higher than where we are now. And that was normal. That was normal for borrowers. Now, I know the cost of homes, that's the thing though. Even though the rates were much higher, the cost of homes were much lower. So I do get that, guys, but the rates were still really high. I don't want you guys to just focus on the interest, but where you're gonna see the power of home ownership is gonna be in appreciation in equity. This is gonna increase your family's net worth. That's the name of the game. It's built with equity and it's built with appreciation that assets produce. And that's what I want you guys to focus on. So let me show you guys this article. This is from Credit Karma. They posted this historical article. It says since 1991, the average annual home price increase has been 4.3% per year. And that's according to the FHFA. Now, since 2000, the average rate has been 4.7% per year. Get this, since 2012, the average rate that a home has appreciated on an annual basis every single year has been 7.7%. So a property at $400,000 with an annual appreciation of 5%, this property 30 years from now, this $400,000 property at a 5% annual appreciation rate, and again, this is us being conservative. We're using 5%. This property is going to be worth $1,728,776, and I can't forget the 90 cents. Okay? Think about this. This is what this property at a 5% annual appreciation rate will be worth in year 30 once this property is paid off in full. Okay, now let's look at the difference between someone who buys now at 8% and someone who never buys, thinking that even if it stayed at 8% or if it doesn't go below 5%, it's still too high. I'm waiting until it goes down to 3%. It's gonna be a huge financial mistake for you. Here we go. We're gonna calculate this. There's too many numbers to put in my head. So the difference between the interest here and the interest there. So I'm gonna do 590,958 minus 335,720.82. All right, so the difference between the two, right? We're gonna say the delta. The difference between the two is $255,000. Now remember, we bought this property for $400,000. So in this example, if we add these two together, and if we subtract this, and then what I'm gonna do on this side is, your total cost for this home is gonna be $735,720. Let's look at how much money is in the bank now. So if we take what this property is worth now, plus our total cost, which is our purchase price, plus the interest we paid, this is gonna be the difference. It's $737,818.95. This is at 8%, which people say it's too much, it's too expensive. This is taking into account that you have not refinanced to a lower rate, you've not found a better rate in 30 years, which you will find a better rate at some point within 30 years. But this is worst case scenario. You lock in 8% now and you never refinance it to a lower rate, you're still gonna make $737,000 profit from this property. Now in this example, at 5% interest, we'll do the same example, right? Just to keep all things equal. The total that you'll make at 5% is gonna be $993,056.90. $7,000 short of $1 million. Guys, if rates never go down, and you decide that you're gonna sit on the sidelines and you're just gonna wait until we see 2% interest and 3% interest again, and you never buy a house, guys, you're out on $737,000. Worst case scenario, that we're locked in at 8% and it never goes down. Your worst case scenario is that you will have made $737,000 just on your home appreciation alone. When the property's actually paid off, yes, this would be your profit, but you're gonna have an asset, part of your net worth, guys. Your net worth, just with your home's value, is gonna be $1.7 million because that home will be free and clear. you have a $1.7 million asset in your family's net worth that you can pass on for future generations. And this is what it's all about, building wealth, changing the family tree, guys. So this is why it's so important, and this is why I want you guys to understand the power of getting into the game. Don't worry about the rates, guys. Worry about this. Worry about what this is going to look like when you have friends that have their house now valued at 1.7 million and you've just been renting, waiting on the sidelines, waiting for interest rates to go down, and you've never bought. Think about how much wealth you will have missed out on by not taking that leap and not getting into the real estate game and actually owning some real estate. So guys, I hope this video was informational to you guys to really show the power of wealth building using real estate and why it's such an important wealth building tool for you and your family. So guys, if you found this video to be helpful, please guys, I have spent a lot of money on real estate education and masterminds, and I'm here to just give this to you guys for absolutely free. My only ask of you is to share this with anyone in your family circle, your friend circle, who you think can benefit from watching these videos to help them in their real estate journey and really just to help them in life and understanding the power of real estate. That's why I'm here, guys. And if you have any questions, make sure you like, comment, hit that follow button, subscribe, guys, and let's get this money together. I'll see you guys on the next video, Real Estate 101. Peace.